Radhika Giridhari Radha Vinod Vihari Radha Govinda Joki Jai. Nitali Lipavishta Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bharata Taya Asta Terasata Shri Srimad Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitali Lipavishta Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bharata Taya Asta Terasata Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Shri Gaudiya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shabd Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prince Gosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol. That's a little too loud. I want to adjust it over there. It's that red one on the right hand side. Hari Bol, Hari Krishna. Okay, that's good. And also, I need a songbook.
Okay. Where's the thick ones? Yeah.
It's okay. Whatever.
So I'll use one.
Okay. So now we have passed through the holidays, the special holy days of our acharyas. And now I have some days before I cross the oceans, and we want to see that the Vilapa-kusumanjali we can accomplish as much as far as possible. That is our hope. But if not, then whatever we can accomplish, and the rest can be read by the individual Vaishnavas. But even what we got through up till here, more than halfway through the book. So
Audio book for the future too.
audio book.
Guys, because it's all saved.
Oh, yeah. Could do. Yeah, could do. I don't know. Take some computer person to extract the audio and separate that.
Well, it says it's saved forever, so
Yeah.
it's on Facebook.
Yeah, that's true. I heard today from Pran Kishore Prabhu that our god brother Bharat Prabhu is watching every night. So Hare Krishna Bharat Prabhu Ki Jai. See, I can't see who's watching. Only if they leave messages, then I can see. I have a small group that leave messages every day. So, but I was very encouraged by that, because Bharat Prabhu is a genuine Vaishnava. And if he appreciates what I'm trying to do, then that gives me a feeling of approval by the Vaishnavas. So, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nityanandam Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Nama. Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Chishe Namaha. Ajanu Lambita Bujo Kanakavadato Samkirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Yuga Dharma Palo Bande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jayatam Suruto Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Shrimad Ratnagar Singhasanasto Shrimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Ishtalibhi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambhi Vamshi Vatata Takstitaha Karshana Venu Swanayar Gopir Gopinata Shriestunaha Brindai Tulsi Debai Priyai Keshavasyacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable, beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa Ashtatarashata, Sri Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. And then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable, beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa Astatarashata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak, Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. and Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Ashtatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat pranams at the lotus feet of all of my Shri Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga, and especially at the lotus feet of Shri Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, our Prayojan Tattva Acharya, and the author of Sri Vilapa-kusumanjali. I'm offering my Dandavat pranams to all the Vaishnavas and to all the Vaishnavis. We've now reached verse 42. So, I'm reading the verse. Yat prantadesha lavalesha vigurnitena badhakshanad bhavati Krishna karindra uchai tat kanjarita jai netra yugam kadayam sampujayishyati janas tava kajjalena. There's a word at the end here called kajjalena. That sound familiar? Kajal. Kajjalena. Yeah. Raghunath Das Goswami is praying, when will this person worship with black kajal, your two eyes, which defeat the Kanjana birds, and which, with the slightest movement from their corners, in a moment, tightly bind the regal elephant Krishna. Can repeat, Yat Pranta, Desha, Lavalesha, Vigurnitena, Badha, Kshanad, Bhavati, Krishna Karindra, Uchai, Tat Kanjarita, Jai Netra, Yugam, Kadayam, Sampuja, Ishyati, Sampujayishyati, Janas, Tava, Kajjalena. When will this person worship with black kajal, your two eyes, which defeat the Kanjana birds? Oh, I forgot. You have to repeat. When will this person worship? With black kajal, your two eyes, which defeat the Kanjana birds, and which, with the slightest movement from their corners, in a moment, tightly bind the regal elephant Krishna. Srila Gurudev's commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Yeah, actually I can use another songbook, make it a little bit higher. Thanks. Okay. Raghunath Das Goswami is now praying When will I worship Srimati Radhika's eyes with kajal? The eyes are the topmost part of the body. Raghunath, before he prayed to decorate Radhika's braid and to give sindoor and so forth, but still has not worshipped her eyes. When Raghunath remembered her eyes, he felt so much happiness in his heart. Srimati Radhika had been decorated with so many beautiful things, golden jewelry, diamonds, and so forth. But Raghunath thought, for her eyes I will give something black that isn't very expensive. Oh, Srimati Radhike, I'm so desperate that I want to worship your eyes with kajal. Why does he want to use kajal? The breakdown of the word kajal, that's a double J, Kajjala, kajal. The breakdown of the word kajal in Sanskrit is jal jalana. It means burnt. So, anything burnt becomes what color?
Black.
Yes. So that is kajal. If ghee is burning with cotton, it is very good for the eyes. So Raghunath prays, I will give kajal to your eyes, but it is like a poison. It has so much poison. I fear to give this poison in your eyes. Why is kajal poison?
I have no idea.
When Krishna sees Radhika's eyes, he becomes faint. So certainly it is poison. Srimati Radhika's eyes are very large, like a lotus. And when a Sakhi gives this kajal, her eyes become so beautiful. And the effect on Krishna upon seeing her eyes is that he faints. So I think it is not a good thing, but it is like poison. And Srimati Radhika asks, why are you saying that kajal is like poison? How so? And Tulsi Manjari replies, certainly it is poison. So in the Sri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad has written. Here's the famous verse. Gurudev used to love to say this verse. Venum karan nipatitam skalitam shikandam brashtam chapita vasanam vrajaraja suno yasya kataksha sharagata vimurchitasya tam radikam paricharami kadarasena. This is verse 39 from Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. So, Venum Karan, what does that mean? Playing the Venu. Venu in his hands. What happens to that Venu in his hands? Nipatitam. It falls. Skalitam Shikandam. What is his Shikandam? Peacock feather slips off. Brashtam Chapita Vasanam. His yellow, golden shawl. Yes. Pita Vasanam. Vraja Raja Suno. Who are we talking about here?
Krishna, son of...
Talking about the son of Vrajaraj Nanda Maharaj. Yasya Kataksha. her sidelong glance. Yasya means of her. Yasya kataksha shara gata. The arrows of her sidelong glance, vimurchitasya, causes him to faint. Tam radikam paricharami kada rasena. Paricharami means what? Worship. When will I worship that Radhika? Tam radhikam paricharami kada. When will I worship that Radhika? Rasena, with rasa. A very prominent verse. So, Gurudev is telling, O Srimati Radhike, you should be Jaya Yukta. That means all victorious. Jaya Yukta. Why? I want to serve you with rasa. Krishna likes rasa and Radhika likes rasa. So when will that day come that I will serve you by rasa? Raghunath Das, Tulsi Manjari, is saying, I will speak the pastimes of Krishna to you, and I will discuss how to meet. Krishna. All these things are rasamai upasana. That means worship, upasana, filled with rasamai. The Manjaris and Lalita and Vishaka do this with Radhika. When will the day come when I will serve you with ras? So that verse that he's quoting, it says at the end of the verse, Kada rasena, when will I serve you with ras? This is the translation of that verse. When, with rasa, will I serve Radhika, whose arrow-like sidelong glance causes the son of the king of Braja, Sri Krishna, to faint. It causes the flute to slip from his hand and the peacock feather crown to fall off his head and his yellow cloth to come off his body. So Gurudev is saying, Yat pranta desha lavalesha vigur nitena. Yes, that's the first line of this verse. Yat pranta desha lavalesha vigur nitena. Srimati Radhika looks at Krishna with the corner of her eyes, not with her full eyes, only with the corner of her eyes. Partly she sees, yet Krishna is lava lesha vigurnitena. He becomes controlled by that. Vigurnitena means there is a netra vilas, a playful meeting of their eyes. Netra means eyes or vision, and vilas, playful meeting of their eyes. So the next section is titled Loving Meeting by a Hidden Sidelong Glance. Krishna, Srimati Radhika, and the gopis are playing dice. In a long time since I've thrown any dice. How about you? You got some problem with gambling? So Krishna, Srimati Radhika, and the gopis are playing dice. And when the gambling is going on, Krishna is concentrating so hard that he does not know where he has kept his flute. And one Sakhi steals it. Radhika knows that the flute has been stolen, and she says, you should put your flute on stake. S-T-A-K-E. Then Krishna remembers, where's my flute? He looks, but he sees it is missing. Krishna becomes nervous, and in the meantime, Krishna is defeated. And when Radhika wins, all the Sakhis are clapping their hands. So in this Leela, Krishna thought that if they will take his flute, then he will have a chance to talk with them and to meet with them. So he has done it willingly, but they didn't know that. In this way, they were playfully cheating each other. Krishna was cheating them, and they were cheating Krishna. This is called Rasena Seva. What does that mean? Rasena Seva.
Cheating one another.
No.
Serving with Ras.
Yes. He's giving an example of what is this kind of Rasa Seva. Rasena Seva, service through Rasa. Yes. So... this is called Rasena Seva. Here, Lava Lesha means very briefly. Lava. That's should be a familiar word to us. Because that's the word, huh?
Is there an expression, Lava Mata?
Yes. Lava means 1/14 of a second. That's what we learned when we were young. Huh? What's the verse? Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastrikoi, Lava Matra. That means only for a lava. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. All perfection can be attained. So here, he's saying, Lava Lesha means very briefly. And Vigurnitena is Netra Vilas, a playful meeting by the eyes. If a lover and beloved have not seen or been with each other for a long time, then during the time of separation, they may see each other at some circumstance where they cannot externally meet or speak with each other. Because there are so many persons there, like father, mother, and others, so they cannot speak openly. This happened when Krishna was meeting Radhika during the solar eclipse. Where? At Kurukshetra. Many people were present. They cannot speak openly. They can speak only by the eyes. Everything that cannot be told by mouth can be told by the eyes to each other. This is called Netra Vilas. If Srimati Radhika is looking towards Krishna, and Krishna is looking towards Srimati Radhika, sometimes their faces may change complexion. They may sweat, or they may be in a laughing mood. So many different moods come, and so many things are expressed through their secret glances. This is called Netra Vilas. They are playing through their eyes. In Vraja, only by the corner of her eye, Radhika is telling something to Krishna. And what happens? Venum karan nipatitam. At once he becomes almost senseless. His flute falls down, and his peacock feather also falls down. Perhaps the flute falls toward the feet of Srimati Radhika. Brashtam chapita vasanam vrajaraja suno. Krishna does not know where his yellow cloth is. It falls down from his shoulders. At that time, Krishna's father and mother may be present, like when Krishna is going cow herding and he is looking towards Radhika. At first, when Krishna is going, only Radhika is looking at him from a very high place, but Krishna is not looking. But by some means, he knew that Radhika was there, And then he glanced towards her. Radhika became shy and covered her face. Krishna then became faint, and his flute, peacock feather, and pitambara slipped and fell down. This occurred only by a glance from the corner of Radhika's eyes. If Srimati Radhika had looked fully at Krishna, then what would happen? Badha kshanad bhavati Krishna karindra uchai. Krishna is like a mad elephant. We like that comparison, that Krishna is like a mad elephant. You see it all the time. He walks like a mad elephant. So many comparisons are there. In the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is called Svarat Purusha. Remember the first verse? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmat Yasya Yaton Vayad Itaratascha Arteshu Avigya Swarat. What does Swarat mean? Yes, independent. So here, he is called Swarat Purusha, the independent Lord. In the first verse. Janmad Yasya Yaton Vayad Itaratas Charteshu Avigya Swarat. He is Swarat, quite independent. Everywhere he is quite independent, but here, even though being quite independent, the 4 feet of this mad elephant are caught in a chain. The mad elephant cannot move here and there. He cannot do anything wrong. Srimati Radhika, only looking from the corner of her eyes, is like that chain around Krishna's feet. This is a far-out verse, isn't it? Because sidelong glances are very important for us, are they not? Yes. We sing it all the time. We hear about it all the time. But here, Raghunath Das Goswami is praying that this effect will come from putting kajal on Radhika's eyes. So here, the mad elephant's feet is a metaphor for Krishna's heart. Krishna is fully captured here by the corner of Radhika's eyes. Kshanad bhavati Krishna karindra uchai. Here, uchai means very tight. He is captured very tightly. Once, on the way to meet Srimati, Krishna instead passed his time with Chandravali, and from there he was coming to Srimati ji, and he was late. Srimati then didn't want to speak with Krishna. Why are you not talking to me? I have done no offense, Krishna said. Is that true? Oh, you are very simple and you are so truthful. I have nothing to say to you, Radhika says. I have nothing to say to you. Oh, you are joking with me, Krishna says. I haven't lied to you. And then Radhika says, no, you are not a liar. When did I say that you are a liar? Are you a cheater? No. You are a very good person. I bow down to you because you are Nila Lohita Rudra. You must remember, there was a pastime. She's comparing him to Lord Shiva. Nila Lohita means blue and red. So why is she saying this? That you are Nila Lohita Rudra. Rudra is Shankar. What's the color of his neck? Yes. And Nila Lohita means blue and red. Krishna has some sign of what red on him? No. Think of the circumstance that he's in right now. Where did he just come from? Where's the red coming from? Yes. So, Nila Lohita means blue and red. Krishna has some sign of red kumkum and also blackish kajal. He has some signs of that on his body. So when Krishna sees Radhika's eyes, he wants to worship them. He wants to kiss them. He cannot think what to do. All these signs come on Krishna. So therefore she is saying, you are Nila Lohita Rudra. So when Rati Manjari is remembering Krishna, seeing the glance from the corners of Radhika's eyes, she thinks, I should worship these eyes. Who's thinking? Rati Manjari. Yes. I should worship these eyes. The most important part of the body, I should worship these eyes with that kajal. Why kajal? Because Krishna is black. One Saki asked Krishna, why are you black? Then Krishna says, oh, you don't know? I took my birth at midnight, and that night was black, so I became black. Another Saki said, no, this is not the main factor. Maybe somewhat, but your mother has given milk from a black cow to you. The calf was black, and the cow was black. So similarly, you became black from milk from a black cow. Another Saki said, no, this is not the main cause. The main cause is that the gopis love you very much, and they want to take you in their eyes. Gopis wear this kajal, and they take you in their eyes, so by the color of the kajal, you became black. Tulsi Manjari says, your kajal is so important. Krishna becomes mad by seeing this. So I want to worship your eyes with the color of Krishna's body. Black is the color or luster of Krishna's divine form. Krishna's body is shyama, so this kajal is like Krishna. Srimati Radhika therefore likes this color and wants to have this color on her eyes, as if she is putting Krishna in her eyes. So Tulsi Manjari is saying, so I want to decorate and worship your eyes with this very good thing. It's not a jewel and it's not golden, but I think that it's more valuable than jewels and gold. Krishna does not kiss gold and jewels, but he kisses these eyes. So for your happiness and Krishna's happiness, I want to decorate your eyes and worship them with this kajal. Who's thinking that? Tulsi Manjari. Now, when she is putting this kajal on Srimati's eyes, so many pastimes appear in the heart of Rati Manjari, and she tells them to Srimati Radhika. She remembers them and becomes so happy and gives her necklace as a reward to Rati Manjari. While decorating Srimati Radhika with any ornament or anything, Rati Manjari is always remembering Radha Krishna's pastimes. Thus, when we are reciting these prayers, we should remember these pastimes. And we should pray that we may do seva like this under the guidance of our Guru Saki. Now, the next section, which is the final section in this purport, is titled The Differences in Bhakti in the Stages of Vaidhi and Rag Anuga. What's it called?
Differences in Bhakti in the stages of Rag.
Yes, in the stages of Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga. So what are the differences in Bhakti in these stages? This is Swa-rasiki Upasana, because he is serving and remembering in an unbroken chain. So who's doing this? Swa-rasiki Upasana? No, Raghunath Das Goswami.
Because he's remembering in his sadhana.
Yes. So the Vilapa-kusumanjali are so many flowers in a garland. So this is called Swa-rasiki. Swa-rasiki. When we only meditate on one verse, then it will be mantra mayi upasana. What will it be? Mantra mayi upasana. When we only meditate on one verse. When we only meditate on one verse, then it will be mantra mayi upasana, but it has so many chains in one shloka. Chains. I think that any word of the Srimad Bhagavatam or any word of Vilapa-kusumanjali is Swarasiki Upasana. Any word of Srimad Bhagavatam, any word of Vilapa-kusumanjali, it is Swarasiki Upasana.
That means a flow of...
Yes, chain. That's why he's saying chain. All interconnected and flowing. We should not try to do mantra-mayi upasana. It will come by itself. Yet, we have not entered into upasana. We are only trying and now hearing. After this, the effect will gradually come and we will enter into this. Surely, it will give fruit one day. It is not sahajya. We should advance gradually. Right? It is not sahajya. Why is it not sahajya?
Because it's not cheap. It's not something gotten quickly.
Right. You advance gradually. The whole the whole mood of those who are sahajya is that they've already achieved some level of appreciation of these pastimes and so forth, right? And they think now we're going to just meditate on this all the time and meditate upon our form that was given to us by our Ekadas Bhav initiation and so forth. But they fall down. It is not possible. It is not possible to imitate. But Gurudev is saying, surely it will give fruit one day. If we hear, it will gradually come. We will enter into this. But we have not entered into upasana. We are only trying and now hearing. After this, the effect will gradually come and we will enter into this. Surely it will give fruit one day. It is not sahajya. We should advance gradually. When we advance in this process, our Guru Parampara will reveal themselves to us. What about that? Yes. They will reveal themselves. All of our Guru Parampara. They are so merciful. They will surely reveal themselves to us in due course as we advance. When we have come to this stage now, from a very low stage, we have come to this stage. So I hope that we will also go up to this higher stage. The Kirtan, Shravanam, and 9 kinds of bhakti are also in Raganuga, but there is some difference. In Vaidhi Bhakti, we will hear Harikatha of Prahlad Maharaj, of Chitraketu Maharaj, Dhruva, Narad, Vyasadev, up to the 9th canto, and all these things. This is Shravanam. In Raganuga, then we will only be satisfied by hearing the kind of Harikatha of the Vraja pastimes that we have agreed to serve in. And we will go to certain persons, not everywhere, who will tell that kind of Harikatha. In Vaidhi Bhakti, we are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But in Raganuga Bhakti, our mood will change. We will chant Hare Krishna as per the moods of Raghunath Das Goswami, Gopal Guru Goswami, Dhyan Chandra Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Yes. So our mood will change. That's the difference. In Vaidhi Bhakti, everyone is chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But in Raganuga, our mood will change. And we will chant Hare Krishna as per the moods of our previous acharyas. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji used to sing, what song? Kotai go prema mai Radhe Radhe. When you go to his samadhi, where the Radha Kund and Shama Kund are there in Navadvip Dham at the Chaitanya Mat, then it has this song written there. I don't know if it's in Bengali or English, but it's written there in the front side of his samadhi on a big plaque or cardboard. Kotai go prema moi Radhe Radhe. So this, what Gaur Kishore Das Babaji is singing, this is like a Maha mantra. It is so sweet, with so many lines, and with tears in his eyes. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj would loudly weep as he sang all these lines. Kotai go, where, oh where are you? Prema Mai, Shrimati Radhika, where are you? There are many hidden meanings to this song. Krishna Vaksha Vilasani Radhe Radhe. Krishna Vaksha Vilasani. Know what that means? The chest of Krishna, Krishna Vaksha. And Radhika is lying on the chest of Krishna. O Radhe, where are you? O Kunja Vilasani Radhika. O Radhe, where are you? Tomar Kangal, Tomai Dake, Radhe, Radhe. I am a beggar. I am a beggar at your door, not at any other door. So this Kangal, this beggar, is yours. I'm praying that just once you should give me your darshan and Dekka diye prana rako Radhe, Radhe. O Radhe, show me yourself and save my life. This bhajan will create more greed. to perform the necessary sadhana to achieve the service of Srimati Radhika. Our aim and object will naturally come to a fixed point. What is that fixed point? Radha Dasya. This is called Rag Anuga. It is possible by the mercy of Srimati and Gurudev, who has brought you from hell to this place. It is possible by the mercy of Srimati and Gurudev, who has brought you from hell to this place, to this stage. Everything that you are doing, everything is going on by the grace of your spiritual master. So that is the end of verse 42, commentary of Srila Gurudev.
One question.
Yes. Can you use the mic?
When you earlier read that the Guru Parampara will reveal themselves, is that specifically saying that they'll reveal their internal, eternal spiritual forms in the Braj Rasa?
Yes, it includes that, but it also means in the form that you know them.
Oh.
Yes. You know, Gurudev has mentioned how sometimes a devotee would ask Gurudev, oh, what is the form of our Srila Prabhupada in Gaur Leela? And Gurudev would say, oh, you have not seen him? Yes, those are also their forms in Gaur Leela. You see? So, when they reveal themselves, obviously, full revelation means their eternal spiritual form. In both Chaitanya Leela, Gaur Leela, and in Krishna Leela. So we will see both. We will experience and see both. And be serving both. Because they'll not reveal to us such forms until what? Until we're highly qualified, at least in the stage of asakti. But even before that, in the stage of ruchi, some revelation is coming in that stage. Gurudev explained that. But in the stage of asakti, then there is spurti. The devotee is experiencing, just prior to the stage of bhav avastha, he's experiencing spurti, momentary glimpse. Yes, he's being prepared for the realization of his very own siddha swarup in the stage of bhav. So that's what Gurudev is talking about. When we can reach to that stage, our Guru Parampara, all of them will reveal themselves. So now verse 43 will go on a little bit longer. Right? Yes? But not too much longer. I've been giving classes very late. But we started okay timing today. So I'll go for maybe 15 minutes. Is that good? Yeah. So verse 43, and this one has even a longer purport, which we won't be able to finish today. Yeah, it's like 8 pages, 9 pages, long purport. From page 306 to page 316. That's long. 306 to 316 is 10 pages. 11. Yeah. Okay, so we've got some nectar coming. Verse number 43. Yas yanka ranjita shiras tavamana bange Goshtendra sunur adikam shushumam upaiti. Laksha rasa sachakada padayor adaste nyasto mayapyatitaram shavim apsyatiha. Translation: when will your lotus feet shine with splendor as Krishna is beautified by anointing his head with the reddish mark from your feet, which I decorated with lac, in his efforts to soothe your jealous anger. Wow, that's pretty much Jayadev Goswami straightforwardly here. You know, what's that line that Jayadev Goswami?
Kamala, Kerala, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's written on a plaque actually, and it's at the feet of the painting, the Murti painting in Sevakunj in Rup Sanatan. And it says,
Something Kamala,
what? No. I just have to get the first word. Well, you know, it's probably here in the purport. Smara Garala Kandanam Mama Sirashi Mandanam Dehi Padapallavam Udaram. Smara. What does smara mean? No. No. That's smaran. Smara is who? Cupid. Smara. Smara Garala Kandanam. Garala means poison. I am being burned. Kandanam. I am being burned by the poison of Smara, of Cupid, his amorous desire. Smara Garala Kandanam Mama Shirashi Mandanam. So, Mama Shirashi means my head. Shira. Mama Shirashi Mandanam. Decorate my head. Smara Garala Kandanam Mama Shirashi Mandanam. Dehi, give to me, Padapallavam, your lotus feet, Udaram, with magnanimity, give me and save my life. So here, Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, when will your lotus feet shine with splendor as Krishna is beautified by anointing his head with the reddish mark from your feet, which I decorated with lac, in his efforts to soothe your jealous anger. That's the Sevakunj painting. So you can repeat, Yasyanka, Yasyanka, Ranjita, Shiras, Tavamana, Bange, Goshtendra, Sunur, Adikam, Susaman, Upaiti, Laksha, Rasa, Sacha, Kada, Padayor, Adhaste, Nyasto, Mayapi, Atitaram, Chavim, Apsyatiha. When will your lotus feet shine with splendor? As Krishna is beautified by anointing his head with the reddish mark from your feet. which I decorated with black.
Which I decorated with black.
Who's the I? Tulsi Manjari. Tulsi Manjari. Or Rati. In his efforts to soothe your jealous anger.
In his efforts to soothe your jealous anger.
Srila Gurudev's commentary. Spurti, this is the subtitle, Spurti and the two states of Raghunath Das Goswami. As a sadhak, Raghunath Das Goswami is sometimes in outer sense and sometimes he is immersed in bhav seva. He is thinking, I am with Srimati Radhika and I am really serving her. At that time, he forgets he is Raghunath Das Goswami. He forgets everything. But when that bhav goes away, then vipralamba comes and he is thinking, I am not serving. It was only my imagination or a spurti. There is much difference between a spurti and kalpana. Kalpana means imagination. Much difference between spurti and kalpana. A spurti is the real thing, coming down itself. That's what a spurti is. It's the reality. It's the real thing coming down on its own. It comes by yogamaya, by bhakti. And this is called a spurti.
This can come in at a very low stage, can't it?
No. No, not actual spurti. No. We get so many different, in our efforts from our babyhood in bhakti, we get various impressions, of course, that are coming to us. But a spurti is directly seeing, like we were saying before. The acharyas will give spurti, and that will be arranged by Yogamaya. So, a spurti is the real thing coming down itself. It comes by Yogamaya, by bhakti. This is called a spurti. Srimati Radhika is weeping for Krishna. Krishna is very far away in Dwarka. She remembers that once she was doing man. Who is remembering? And where is she weeping? Yes. And where is Krishna? Yes. So she remembers that once she was doing man and Krishna came. And now she sees that, oh, Krishna has come here and he is asking me, why are you weeping? I'm here. Krishna is saying, why are you weeping? I'm here. And he is wiping away my tears. He is making a garland. He says to Srimati Radhika, I am always with you. Why are you weeping? And at the same time, she saw that Lalita, Vishaka, and others all came, and they were all playing. And after some time, she saw that there is no Krishna, no Lalita, or Vishaka, and she is weeping and weeping. This is called a spurti.
At this point, he's Raghunath Das.
No, this is Radhika.
This is Radhika, who's having the spurti. Radhika is having the spurti that, oh, Krishna has come here. Why are you weeping? He wipes my tears. This is a spurti that Radhika's experienced because Krishna is in Dwarka. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Damodar Pandit to his mother And he told him, go to my mother and tell my mother that I'm daily going to Mayapur to visit her. You have all heard this before. So, and when she cooks something, some very good preparations, and she desires, oh, if my Nimai was here, he would take this prasad. So tell her, I actually do go daily and take Mahaprasadam there. He told Damodar Pandit to convey that message to Mother Sachi. I'm really coming. So when she sees that there is nothing on the plate, I've taken everything. And when she sees everything is gone, she imagines that she has not cooked yet. And again she tries to cook and offer. Tell my mother that I go and I really take all the things that she gives me. She thinks that it is a spurti, but it is not a spurti. I really go there. So the spurti is just like reality. And that's why Gurudev was saying, it is actual reality. It's not kalpana, it's not imagination. It's actually descending down.
What's the difference between a sporty and it's really coming?
Well, for example, in the stage of asakti, is Krishna really directly coming? I mean, are we actually seeing Krishna in a spurti, in the stage of asakti, prior to the stage of bhav? There are many spurtis that are coming, but are we actually seeing? There's a difference. There's a difference. And, you know, in the Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada has also written about how when the devotee finally goes and is transported, when he's coming into the stage of praying, and he's transported into the very universe where Krishna is currently performing his Bhoma Lila in the material creation, and takes birth there, in the womb of a gopi. That body is his eternal Vastu Siddhi form. Eternal form. So there's a difference. Gurudev goes on about this topic. So Radhika was experiencing the spurti, but then after some time she saw that there is no Krishna, no Lalita or Vishaka. She is weeping, and this is called a spurti. The real, just use the word real because they're both real, but there's a difference of, I don't know how to say it, I don't know what words to choose. The real is permanent. It's always every single moment, every single day of your existence. You are experiencing the actual reality of Braj. You're in the Leela itself. But the spurti is what the practitioner of Raganuga Bhakti, Raghunath Das Goswami, is demonstrating this actually. That's what his book is about. He's demonstrating to us the actual experience of a sadhak who is on that high platform where internally they become completely absorbed and the Leela is coming as spurtis in the mind and the heart, right? Yeah.
So,
yeah, Mike.
I've been in a class with Shamarani Didi, and she said that in asakti, you actually, like from the outside, see your own, your own spiritual form in the realm of Braj, but in Bhav you actually enter into it, so you're not just seeing it.
Yeah, you can say it like that.
Really, so the chitta at that point smashes and then you enter into it.
He said the chitta what? Can you use the mic?
There's a thin layer, chitta.
Yeah.
Before that we can see ourselves, but when that breaks, then we can enter into the
Yes. That's a technical description. Chitta, like a layer, because that's the closest connection between the soul, the Atma, and the material body and mind and so forth, is the Chitta. So, when the Chitta is cleansed, because Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Cheta means Chitta. So, when the mirror is cleansed, then one can see. So that cleansing becomes very clear in the stage of asakti. But even from the very beginning, we know that that's the first effect, right? The 7 effects are given by Mahaprabhu in the Shikshashtakam, and the first verse tells all 7, and then each verse subsequently it's telling beginning from the 2nd verse, right? Then the 3rd verse, then the 4th verse, like this. And it's also relating not only to the effects, but also to the attainment of those stages from Shraddha up to Prem, like that. So just going on a little bit now. So Mother Yashoda, Damodar Pandit related the message to her because Mahaprabhu said, she imagines that, oh, just my imagination, that maybe I haven't cooked, so she starts cooking again. But tell my mother that I go and really take all the things that she gives me. She thinks that it is a spurti, but it is not a spurti. I really go there. That Krishna told to Uddhav, tell the gopis and Radhika that sometimes when Srimati Radhika becomes so sad and weeps, I go there. I decorate her, and I meet and talk with Radhika. She should not see that it is only a spurti, but it is the real thing. For a sadhak, it is as a bas. A bas means a semblance, right? So for a sadhak, it is as a bas, not real. But for a siddha bhakta, it is real. For the sadhak bhakta also, by the mercy of Krishna, we can have all these things, otherwise we may not realize all these things. So there are 2 stages for Raghunath Das Goswami. One, when he is immersed in seva, in his manjari form, thinking that Srimati Radhika is instructing him to perform various services that he is carrying out, like giving kajal, while he is telling all the pastimes to Srimati Radhika, and both are so pleased, and one as a sadhak praying for internal service. So, internal form and his external sadhak body, deha.
And that the middle portion is where he writes. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's writing in the middle portion. In the middle portion especially, it's very heavily lamenting and weeping when that breaks. That he's not fully in external, but he's partly in both. Now, sometimes when he is immersed in thinking like this, then this is talking about sadhak in the siddha stage. When he is immersed in thinking like this, sometimes by the grace of Bhakti Devi, bhakti or yogamaya, by the grace of Bhakti Devi, Prem Bhakti or yogamaya, it comes like a spurti, and he forgets everything of this world and the outer worlds. But then it stops, and he becomes so sad. He is weeping and hankering. Oh, I have come from Vaikuntha down to hell. His heart then burns with the signs of Vipralambha Bhav. And when he was thinking to give kajal, then so many pastimes of Krishna and Radhika came in his heart as a spurti, and now it has stopped. This is called vikshepa. In vikshepa, that lila which was going on spontaneously, sva rasiki, it suddenly stopped. And he became like a serpent who has lost his jewel. So, it goes on and on. Can't stop. One more short paragraph. Raghunath Das Goswami was remembering the pastimes of giving kajal to Srimati Radhika's eyes. And he is thinking that I'm worshipping these eyes. So when Radhika is looking at Krishna with the corners of these eyes, it captures Krishna, even though he is like a mad elephant. And then he cannot move here and there. He becomes controlled. So I'm praying to these eyes. Raghunath Das Goswami, I'm praying to these eyes. By a glance from the corners of these eyes, Krishna is controlled. So I want to worship them with kajal. So we made a little progress on this evening. That's why you can't just rush through this. It's not a book that we can try hurriedly. We just have to take in its own pace, right? And then even if not all is finished, then there is Vipralambha mood. Oh, I can't live without this. I have to read this. So that's also good. That's also good.
I'm still having trouble understanding when Raghunath Das is serving in that realm, when it is a spurti and when it is reality.
No, it's like, because in Raganuga Bhakti, Seva Sadhaka Rupena, this is a definition verse written by Rupa Goswami. Seva Sadhaka Rupena, Siddha Rupena Chatrahi. The whole point about Raganuga Bhajan is that the devotee in that stage is capable of perceiving, at least by spurti, her spiritual form, spiritual body. That's not kalpana. It's not kalpana, it's not imagination. Like Gurudev just said, there's a big difference between spurti, because spurti is reality. He said that. Spurti is actually reality coming down. So, sadak deha means his form as Raghunath Das Goswami. Form as a devotee in this world. That's called sadak roop. The sadak roop. And siddha roop means there in the transcendental realm. Okay? But there's still a difference. It's just like siddha deha, right? When one attains the stage of bhav, then shuddha sattva visheshatma prema suryam susamyabhak ruchi vischittamashrinya krid aso bhava uchate. It is bhava uchate means it is called bhav. In that stage of bhav, the devotee attains what is called Siddha Swarupa. Siddha Swarupa. That is his perfected form. That is his form, which will later manifest in Vastu Siddhi, right? But without that form, how he can do Raganuga Bhajan? Because Raganuga Bhajan is both internal and external. We cannot imitate that. But we hear about it. We anticipate. And then as Gurudev said, by feeling drawn towards that, our attraction being intensified more and more and more, that will impel us to do the necessary sadhana to attain that. That's the whole point. Because the sadhana has to be done. It is not coming without that. Yes. Jai Shri Vilapa-kusumanjali ki jai, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pada ki jai, Jai Srila Rupa Goswami Pada ki jai, Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namah Vansha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Mandalat pranams, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis.
Sri Maharaj, listen to that.